Hi guys, this is Rahul here from myview.rahulnavy.net. In this tech talk, I'm going to talk about Visual Studio 2017 features basically. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you a small demo around different variety of techniques which has been added here in 2017 edition. So basically I am technical fellow at Meyer Labs. So what I do is I actually design frameworks for my client NASDAQ. I usually write my blogs at myview.rahulnavy.net and entirely all the source codes, whichever articles I discuss there, whichever topics I discuss there, whatever things which I put up there on the blogs, everything is downloadable at GitHub source code. So you can download that particular source code from github.com/rahulsayan19. If you guys have any questions around any of this, my articles or my blogs or my books so far which has been published, you can directly open a thread around this AMA link, which is rahulsahay19/AMA on the GitHub thread itself. Or you can also tweet me around at rahulsahay19 handle if you guys have any immediate want any immediate response, some kind of question there. Okay, so for today's agenda, what we are going to discuss is these six things. Like we'll be starting with web tools, extensions, unit testing, debugging, some of the things which we'll see, like extensions around code editor stuff which is changed, and refactoring. Okay, so this was all about PPT stuff. Now let's quickly jump to this guy here. Now I was talking about let's get started with Chrome debugging. So as you guys know already, like there are few things which we have been doing as a client side. If you're writing a client side code, obviously since you are developing a web thing, so you must be writing client side code, or most of the JavaScript or Angular. This is Angular code. And now the thing is, we have been debugging in Chrome using their developer tools, and or Mozilla you can think of, or even an Internet Explorer. So now the same thing has been baked in inside that Visual Studio. So you will have now unified debugging experience in the one tool itself, and that is Visual Studio 2017 itself. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to launch my app here, and I'll pick from here Google Chrome, and this will launch in Chrome, and this is the first window which will come up, which will tell you like Chrome script debugging in Visual Studio is enabled, and you can set breakpoints in your JavaScript code basically, and just a step through like what we used to do in our C# code. So just in a moment we'll be there. So you can see here I am in my Angular code, and this is the thing. It is going to make a call to my API/movies, which is my API controller here. I am currently on my, I think my font is quite okay. So many times I heard like your font is quite a bit small. So I'm recording this is in SD mode as well, and I'm keeping font as 150%. So I might feel that this kind be okay for you as a viewer to watch this thing. Now this guy will quickly come here in my unit of work pattern, and it will fetch me all the movies, and it will then obviously go back to my promise here, where it's saying that is resolved. Now you can see here result is coming here. If you can see that data, and you can see all the movies list, and associated director is coming here. You can also add watch here, which I have already added. You can see all this drill down, this stuff is coming here. Let me just expand this a bit. I can quickly close my other stuffs, so you can have a quick look around this guy. So this is kind of very nice, like how we used to debug our managed code or C# code here. Same debugging experience we are basically getting from Chrome debugging baked in inside Visual Studio itself, right? So this is, I am debugging Angular code, and it's giving me the same experience here. Once I click play here, it will step through, and it will launch here. All the stuffs has been populated. So this is one thing. Now let's see that how to enable that particular stuff. So what I was talking about is like Chrome debugging, right? So what you can do here, you can quickly go from tools, options, right? You can directly search for search for Chrome here, and under debugging general you will see that enable JavaScript debugging for ASP.NET, Chrome and IE. So you can do the same stuff with Chrome and same stuff with you can have the same experience with IE as well. If you don't want to use this debugger, you can obviously switch it off from here, and by default it comes with switched on. So I usually prefer this unified experience. It obviously depends on your person to person, like how you like to do the debugging. So this is one feature. Let's do okay. So if you guys have not installed Visual Studio 17, first of all let's talk about that. So I have already blogged on my blog. So this is my blog, myview.rahulnivy.in, which you can see here, and here is I have the thing which I have blogged about getting started with Visual Studio 17. So here in this case I have step by step have explained everything, like now entire thing is like workload thing, like whatever you need you can actually download and install only those many things. So for web components I only require 5 GB of space, so I have only chosen that my web components, and I'm done with that. So it also includes some hacks if you guys have any problem with that, so there is a workaround for that also, which I faced during installation. So I have also jotted down those particular thing here. Now so this is the link of visualstudio.com. From here you can download different editions, which you can see: community, professional, enterprise. I am on enterprise edition. You can download community edition for free. There are only few bits of difference in community and professional editions. Almost you can do all the things between on community edition rather than professional and enterprise. There are a few things which is kind of enterprise related stuff, so you might not be needing as an individual thing. You can obviously compare with that. Now let's talk about some other things as well. I also this I will talk come later, and let's go and see some other feature as well. So I'm maintaining a notepad. Now what I like to do here is I like to go and show you the Docker option. Now this guy, let's see that let's create new project, and I like to create a Docker here. So let's say web app 4, and that's fine. And as soon as I do that, I'll get this option like enable Docker support, right? So I can get this at the initial point. I can take this decision that I want to make my app to be containerized, right? And if that is the case, then at the initial phase itself I can put that check mark in here, and I can get the container option. Otherwise I can take this particular decision at later point of time, at the moment when I will decide that guy, like I like to add Docker for my existing core project. So in order to do so, what I can do here, I can quickly go to the Solution Explorer, and I'll just pin this guy, and I will just right click on my web thread, and I will say add, and then Docker support. You notice here currently play button is IIS Express here, right? Because I have not enabled Docker so far. As soon as I enable Docker, this guy will change to Docker thing. So it will that play button will have its Docker option. So you can see that this will have that container option, and you can directly run from the container. So what happens in that particular case, your entire stuff, all runnable components, what you are going to run under IIS Express, all things going to get copied into that Docker container, and it will run from there. So this is very unified and very nice experience. I mean, you can literally run Docker from your Visual Studio debug that particular container, like how it's behaving into different environments, and you can you can directly push that particular container as well. So this is kind of nice experience which you'll get here in Visual Studio 17. So let's go ahead and look some other stuffs. So now let's talk about something called Roaming Extension Manager. So you can see here I have logged in with my profile here, Rahul Sahai, and When I talk about roaming extension manager, it is something which is clutter free, and which gives you a unified experience even when you are not working on your system, you are working on some other system. And once you actually log in into that particular Visual Studio with your ID, it should bring in all the extensions which you have been using in your machine. So this is kind of nice experience, so you can get here from extension and updates. And one visual difference you can notice here, like extension and updates has been moved into that stack. So now it is placed at the number one stage. So earlier it was kind of here somewhere between. Now you can quickly navigate from that first option, and it will open that extension and updates. And once this guy comes up, then you can see here on the left pane there are a variety of options, and one of the last option is roaming extension manager. So once I click on this, so it will open in all extensions. You can switch to all, or you can select categories from here. So let me select sort by install. Once I do so, there are different overlays here, which is actually showing that this is cloud enabled, and I can also click on this stop roaming. So as soon as I click on a stop roaming, what will happen that once I log into a different machine, this guy won't get carried into that particular system in a different system. And like so, these are the things which you can do here. You can also have localized extension. You can just quickly go to that online, and from Visual Studio Marketplace you can install a bunch of extensions into a different variety. So this is the one of the nice things around this. Has been there, but there's little improvisation around that, and you can see here. So there is a web thread for that guy also. So the web thread is this guy. So marketplace.visualstudio.com. So by default it will open in Visual Studio. I am currently in Visual Studio Code. I just wanted to show you, like I also write some of the snippets around the ASP.NET Core. You might want to check this if you just search for ASP.NET. So the second one is mine. It's around 5.5k download is already done here. Looks like people are enjoying this. So this snippet is around, like if you are doing raw things on Visual Studio Code actually. So let me just pull up that code, and let me just show you if I can quickly show one of the things here. I usually have an habit of launching everything from scratch. So that's why I usually prefer doing that in admin mode. So this Visual Studio Code is coming, although this session is not about there is a thing like you can add new file, let's say sample.cs, and here what you can do basically. So here if you can see, like I have alias for, and all features are also written here, like MVC, task or action, or whatever controller you want, or whatever other things which you want. So let's say I am interested in so when you do this MVC task, you can have this bunch of actions available. So this is the snippet which I was talking about. So you will get this from that particular extension. Let's say you want to do that async action, so you will get this particular thing, and what you need to do here is you need to resolve all those things, and for that you need to include some packages. So it will give you a scaffolding code. Obviously you need to resolve and you need to then put your relative stuffs there, and then this will work like a silky smooth thing, right? So let's close this thing, and so this was around open source extensions which you can get here from marketplace.visualstudio.com. Now let's go and talk something about some other topic. Let's go and check out this find all references. Let's close this guy. Let's one more changes, like now start page is in file start page. Earlier it used to be a part of a view start page. So initially I was not finding that, so I usually use this quick launch window So it will quickly launch all the things for me, like, and it will tell me also like where it is where it is currently based in. So I can quickly open this movie review, and there, if you have seen Visual Studio 2015, and if you have already installed Visual Studio 2017, so you might have feel like Visual Studio 17 is kind of around 50% faster than Visual Studio 15. Is because of the reason it's very lean and thin. So because it on demand load all the components which you actually need at the time, and this is what I really like about that. Also, I was talking about find all references. So you can see here. So these 12 references which you can see here, this is coming via code lens. Obviously, I can navigate from here as well. So if I double click that, then it will open me the relative file, and I can see from there also. So this is called code lens, which is basically sitting in enterprise edition. So you can, what you can do here, you can enable this guy from enable code lens, and you can, if you would like to switch off, then you can switch off from here as well. So in enterprise edition, by default it is enabled. So if you guys are on community edition or professional edition, you might not get this feature. So in order to do so, what you can do here is like you can use find all references. It has been there since ages, I guess, but one of the new features which has been done here in find all references is the color scheme, which I wanted to talk here. And you can see here that one of the newest changes here is that color scheme change. So here you can by seeing visually itself, like, okay, this is my entirely C# color scheme, so I can directly understand like what is my class, what are my access modifiers, what is my TB set. By just having a glimpse of that, you won't feel any kind of haziness and difficulty in understanding while you're writing. You are actually getting the same experience here. You once you hover on that, you can also get an insight of that, what is inside there. So there's currently we used to have in previous versions we used to have these three buttons, which is copy, go to previous, and go to next. In this section there are a few more things has been enabled. First of all, this is entire solution. You can look for open documents, you can also look for change documents, and variety of options you can select. This is kind of nice filtering experience given to you. Now you can then group by here as well. Let's say definition, then project, then you will get a different experience, a different sort of result set here. There is also something called find all references. So let's say I wanted to, in this section also, I like to filter this with get movies. So where exactly is sitting here? So get movies is here. So as soon as I click on this, it will open as a document mode, and when I double click this guy, it will open as an open window. Like here is my get movies thing which I was looking for. Okay, so I can now close this guy, and I can get rid of this filtering part as well. And let's talk about something which is this keep results. Now this is one of the exciting thing. Let's suppose you want to move to other stuff and you want to see the new find all references for a different file. So what you can do here is you can keep this result without losing this, so this will remain as a tabbed window. Now what you can do here, let's say you want to go to movie review, and probably if you do this again, find all references, now this guy will come here as a tab thing. So now this guy has been become that first one which I searched here, movie review, and movies is still sitting here. So I mean toggle between movie and movie review, and if I wanted to relate something, I can do here. So this is kind of nice thing which you can see with this new improvisation which is made here in Visual Studio 17. Now let's close this guy, and let's move on to a different topic which I wanted to see here. Okay, this is interesting. Now I wanted to discuss about live unit testing. So now if I go to live unit testing, let me open this a new project, and I think so normally what we used to do here, even till date, we used to go here in test windows, text explorer. I can collapse this guy so that you can have some better visibility. So here it is having all the tests, and normally what we do after writing all our code, doing all the thing, we are basically running all the tests from here, right? And it's one is failing, so let me just fix this guy once. And okay, I think I have changed here my expectation. So I need to fix one thing here. So if I change this guy, okay, I think I'm already having two. So I'll explain this thing what I'm doing here. First of all, let's get started from the scratch. So now all the tests are passing. This is a simple loan calculator thing. Let's suppose you guys are having some kind of EMI. So what happens basically is like whenever there is a holiday, then the next working day it's actually deducts your EMI, right? So it actually works in a different manner, right? So that's what it's all about. So now let's go here and let's see this, all these three tests are running. And so this is the thing which we have been doing since long time. Now let's go ahead and see what is live unit testing. So for that I need to first enable that guy, and as soon as I do that, you can see this in output window. This is still stuff started running behind the scene, and it is basically passing your all the tests which is there in the left pane, which you can see here. And you can also see here like again this guy is failing. Now this is failing for a reason, so I will come to that particular point later. Now as soon as you enable this guy, you will see this visual glyphs have been added. So what this visual glyphs mean, this guy basically means is like, okay, it is saying that your test is failing for some reason, which you can obviously see here and in that output pane, like it was expected Monday and actual is Tuesday, and that's the one thing. So that's a valid reason. And if you go to that system under test where exactly logic is written, like this guy, so if you go to this particular piece, let me just maximize this guy. So here also you can see this guy, that this is having three references, and so this is part of code lens thing, so you can just ignore this. And here you can basically see this is that visual clip which is coming here, and it is saying that two tests are passing and one is failing. So the failing test will give the get the priority, so that you can go ahead and fix your code there and get around that particular and so that this is nice basically, because passing test doesn't hurt anything. If there is anything is failing, that means either the problem is with your logic or you are breaking any something existing. So this is kind of nice whenever you are writing any new thing and you have that live unit testing enabled, right? So what will happen basically, it will quickly tell you like you have broken something, or something needs to be fixed either in the test case or in that existing logic itself, right? So now let me change something here, and as soon as you change here something, you can see here some watch icon is coming. So this watch icon, what it is doing, it is again passing your code, and it is saying another glyph, this is covered by zero test, and basically this is unreachable code here, which this is quickly is saying. If you turn this condition to false and if you can see this again, then this guy will become unreachable code, and this again parses behind the scene. One thing you can also notice, I have not saved this file, still this is running in the background. That means whatever keystrokes you are finishing up, so it is actually parsing your stuff and waiting for the things to get the things done. So that's a kind of nice stuff which is baked in with live unit testing. So this is one of the really cool features. One of the tests which I feel purposefully is for an obvious reason, because I wanted to show you something which will take the precedence, and what will happen then. So now let's go ahead and look for some other topic here. And if you want to disable this live unit testing again, so you can stop this guy. Maybe many times people will feel this is clutter thing, I mean the kind of disturbance when you are typing, and because you are going to know the things what you are going to write, that logic, right? So you don't want that particular kind of experience to give me results just after I'm finishing my typing. So you can momentarily you can stop that, and just for the sake of running all the tests, you can check live unit testing as well. So this is kind of nice feature with that live unit testing. Now let's see what is different. Let's go to see that, go to all. So I would be doing this in my movie review project. So let's go to start page and quickly open that movie review. So if you guys had an experience with Resharper, this is kind of that particular experience which I was talking about, because I have an habit of using Resharper everywhere. So in 2017 I'm kind of feeling like, okay, I can skip that particular thing. So there is, if you go to edit, go to, there is variety of options like go to all, go to line, and go to file. So basically it defaults to go to all when you do Control T. Now here you can have variety of different options here, like you can look for a line, you can look for files, you can again filter it with types, then with members, and then symbols. So this is if you are not particularly sure like where to search for, or if you are already sure like you are actually looking for a type. Let's say I'm actually looking for a type, so what I will do, type, and I will do movie. So it's only brings in that type thing here. It's not going to bring me everything which starts with movie. Let's say my JavaScript file. So this is kind of nice filtered options which you are actually looking for. So similarly, if you wants to go to, let's say, line, so what was that, I forgot that. So I can do question mark, and I can directly put that colon here, and here it's simple suggestion is coming like that current document is you can go from line number 1 to between 1 to 14, right? So how about if I go to 15? So it's again it's going to, I can get till line number 14. So this is kind of nice stuff. And let's say you want to search for everything, so obviously you can search for everything, and you can see here there is movie API is also coming, which is my JS file, right? So as soon as I hover on that, I keep my control there, this will open as a document mode, which is at the right side of the right extreme of that window, right? So once I click on that or hit enter, it will open as a tabbed window on the leftmost side. So this is kind of nice experience. So it actually gives you preview. So once I say preview, you can also dock this thing here. So there is a setting which says here use preview tab, and you can switch off this guy, you can switch off show details also, you can keep this centered window as well, but I usually prefer to have this guy docked at the right side itself rather than keeping at the center. So this is one of the coolest thing which I can say here is which is I used to do with the Resharper most of the times, like navigating between files. So this is since it is baked in here, it's kind of really nice thing. Now let's go ahead and talk something else. So we talk go to all. Let's go and talk something about refactoring. So you like to open some refactoring project where I have my setup there. So I like to go here. Now here is the thing. Okay, looks like I have broken something here. So this buyer type is not here. Maybe I have not saved this guy. And where it has created. Okay, I'll get to this particular part later on. First, let's see that refactoring piece. So basically I am missing one of the enums, so that's why it was complaining. Now this is my first thing. So what we used to have is like this is the very simplest way how you can create an object, then associated properties, how can you assign values to that. So this guy here is light bulb is coming up and it's having some code suggestions. So it's saying once you click on this, it's saying that you can actually do that the same thing via object initializer, and this is something suggested way of writing code, good coding practices which you have been because once you are done with your changes you might be needing the same thing for code review and all, where your mentor is doing the code review, they might be doing the same thing, so you can actually save time for that. So what you can do, as soon as you click on that, this guy is changed as an object initializer. You can also so this is kind of nice coding practice. So I can also, let me just undo that, and let's suppose you have some strings of lines which you want to get printed here, like something like this, and most of the time what happens, for better visibility, you better do is like concatenation and splitting the same into a different line. So let's suppose from here I would like to concatenate the thing and take it to that next line. So I can just click enter, and here concatenation happened automatically, so it is already taken care for me. So this is kind of nice experience which I really find this is really healthy and really helpful for developers. That's a kind of time saving practice I can say here. Now let's look out some other demos. So this refactoring you can experience more as you open your existing projects, legacy projects in Visual Studio 17. You can get much better experience, much better demo around that. And this is some of the demos which I thought might be useful. I just brought in, and I thought to print out here. So here what I have done is I have taken an explicit declaration out of my where I am parsing my code. So what it is suggesting me now, I can have inline variable declaration, so these things can be moved out that in inline thing here, rather than having explicitly declared there and then parsing that thing and then using that thing. So that is the one of the coolest thing which I can say. This is really nice. Now let's go back to other thing, and so what I can change here. So here when I click on this, so it suggests me that you can convert to string interpolation, and this is kind of nice, right? If you're not particularly sure about this string interpolation, and this is something which is C#6 features, and if you're not sure about like how to use and what are the syntax of that, you might be googling around and you might be seeing that MSTN documents and seeing the best practices of that. Here it can directly convert your existing code into that interpolation syntax, and it will just refactor this particular thing for you. So this is the one thing. Now let's go here into that book.cs, And I wanted to talk about something called, let's say, here in my Solution Explorer, I have this guy in. So, um, so this guy, let's create one enum with buyer type. So, looks like I have now this complaint should go, and I probably need these things: retail, comma, what else was needed, wholesale, then academic, and then government. Okay, so this is done. So now my already quickly is all complaint has gone, so I might have deleted that one. So what I was actually talking about is like, let's suppose we have, so this is a different class basically, book.cs, which you can see here. This is a book class which is inheriting publication, that's fine. But when we do solid principle, we usually follow that single responsibility principle, where we have types for a single dependency, single stuff, a single job, single responsibility basically. In that particular fashion, we usually prefer to isolate our files in a different file systems as well. So what we can do here, so here is a suggestion for that guy. It's saying that you can move cover type to a different file, which is cover type, so it will actually move out to a different file without breaking anything. Now this guy is in using the same namespace, and the same thing has been sliced out into the cover type, which is kind of nice, right? So this is something which is for you, maintainability is very easy, and your big files can be split into a different files, and you can just manage, and you can I mean, that way I can, for me it works out like readability and code design actually goes very nice. So this is one of the kind of refactoring example. Here is my pub thing. Now pub thing, what it is doing here is like, this file is pub.cs, which you can see here in the right pane, and my class here is publications. So if I click on this, it is suggesting me two things: either I can name it my file to publication.cs, or rename my type to pub. I would prefer to put that guy in, and as soon as I do so, then this file has been changed to publication.cs. So this is kind of maintaining your type to file matching. Let's say you are having type as publication, so you should be basically following the same coding convention across, having the file name to publication.cs. So this is one of the refactoring piece which I wanted to discuss here. There is also few things which I wanted to show you here is like, let's say, let's go back to movie project. So here is my movie review class, right? Now how about let's say I'm in my controller, and I think I should be there in my movie controller. So let's see some of the debugging improvements here. So basically you can, there is something called run to cursor here if you want directly wanted to transfer your control here, or by keeping that cursor there, or you can do one more thing here, which is added as a contextual thing. Now what happens here is like, let it come. So I can just say okay. Now I'm coming to my home controller, it should go to my API. Okay, so this is my API, right? So let's say let's close this guy. So as soon as I hover on this, my next line, you can see there is a visual clip which is appearing here, which is this one, and it's saying that you can run your execution to there. So usually we have this guy, so I can either do by going here, I can click on this, so it will directly transfer my stuffs to that particular line after executing all the stuffs. Or what you can do from the menu option, you can also do the same thing by clicking on that run to cursor. So it has now came here. So from menu option, what happened is, like when you right click and you can say run to cursor, the same thing. So it's just a user's preference, like developer's preference, which way you like to go for. Either you can go with this contextual thing, or you can go with that visual thing. It's up to you. So this is the one thing which I wanted to show you as a debugging improvement. Now there is also you see that there are variety of options are getting added into Visual Studio, and our completion list is getting improvised and is getting hugely added, right? So let's suppose I wanted to do here is, let's say for the time being, I can say model 1 and UOW is my unit of work pattern. So you can see here there are different options, which is filtering options here. Now you can, if you wanted to search for type, I can have an option like that movie review UOW, right? UOW. So this is what I was talking about. Either you can trim down your search against the best thing which you are looking for, or you can explicitly or implicitly search in that in all the things which is there. So this is one of the things which I wanted to show you. Let's undo that, and I think this is kind of, let's build these things. This style is little going crazy because I think I have an extended version here. Now let's go here and okay, this is because this was happening because my font is little high. I'm on 150%. Now let's say some of that exception stubs. Now this is a simple WPAir thing. You can just quickly run this guy. So here is the thing, like you can have exception in array or divide by 0. So exception in array gives like it will open that and it basically remembers my position where I last time I stacked this particular exception. So when you open this view details, right, so it opens you a quick launch window here, and it says basically a few things here, like if you can collapse this quick watch window, you can maximize this guy, and once you see this, you can see here inner exception what is coming out. This is null, the messages index is out of range, right? And you can you can add this watch as well. So once I close this, I can see here in the watch window the same thing is coming out here. So I can drill my messages here as well. So this is kind of a nice experience with your Visual Studio's exception settings. Now you can again open this guy by clicking on this cross option. You can literally expand this guy. You can see exception settings as well. You can break whenever it is required. You can add edit conditions as well. You can add multiple conditions, whatever you like to do here. So this is kind of nice little experience with your Visual Studio exception settings. And similarly, when you can mix and match your exceptions as well, like so let's say I'm going for a divide by 0 experience, right? And so if this guy comes up, So here you can see here I'm trying to do this guy divide by 0, and what it is saying is customer count, which is a custom exception, which I'm saying customer count cannot be 0 here. So this is actually outer exception, which is my exception, and inside it is saying that inner exception is attempted by 0. So again, if I go and view details, you can see that how that my exceptions are getting wrapped here. So this is really nice. I can also add watch here, and I can see my exception which is coming here. I can close this guy, and I can say here, okay, this is the this is customer count cannot be 0. So this is what it is coming here. So this was all about Visual Studio 2017 in a nutshell. So I hope you have liked this discussion around Visual Studio. So we have covered quite handful things, like we have started with Chrome debugging, then we have seen some of that Docker options, then we have seen roaming extension manager, then we have seen find all references, then live unit testing. So we have covered refactoring and debugging improvements as well. So I hope you would have liked this session. Let me know. So if you guys have any questions around, you can quickly tweet me at rahulsayan19, and you can open the thread as well at my GitHub account, so which is here, and you can go to github.com/rahulsayan19, and you can find this guy, and I am having all the repositories for you, so you can download as well. So so let's say you guys have any questions around my articles, which is here on my blog myview.rahullevi.net, or my any of these books which I have written so far. You can just open a thread on github.com/rahulsahay19/amma, which I was talking about, right? So this was this is just there to maintain one global repository for you guys. I think it is taking time to come up, but this is fairly the link for that, and or you can directly search here in that repositories. Okay, this guy has come. So this is something called Ask Me Anything, and here is the thing, like you can open a thread relating to what thing you wanted to ask, whether it is related to one of my articles on my blog, or whatever I have written on my book. So that's the stuff. So hope you have enjoyed today's session. We'll see you some other time with some next cool things. Thanks for joining me, and happy coding.